All right, let's get over to Lacey.
Yes.
In the Bob Mills Weather Center, you could hear the wind blowing in Mike's microphone, and then the dust, too, is just killing my eyes.
Gosh. Kind of the visibility limited, kind of a hazy sky yesterday in the metro. Full-blown blowing dust yesterday in portions of Kansas and the Texas Panhandle. This is video from Goodland, Texas. Look at just the grass blowing around there, and look at how it's hard to see the vehicle they're driving just due to the blowing dust. Yeah, a dust storm. Guys, this will be Oklahoma going through the day today, especially for folks out west where the winds will be so very strong. A desert-like air mass is in place. Let me show you what's going on as far as the dew point value, which this is a measure of the moisture content at the surface. And, you know, when we talk about humidity and it getting really, really muggy, our dew points are in the 70s. Yesterday, dew points in western Oklahoma were actually a couple of degrees below zero. And that's what it's like usually out in portions of New Mexico and Arizona in virtually the desert. And today we're going to combine that dry condition with also a whole lot of wind, a lot more wind in portions of the state than we even had yesterday afternoon. So today, 45-mile-an-hour gusts possible in the metro. You get to the darker blue, that's 55, possibly up to 65, and we may have some gusts in the far southwest, even stronger than that. That means blowing dust. That also means very dangerous travel conditions, really up and down the plains. High-profile vehicles will have a tough time today. This is one of those days that you could see those semis kind of wiggle and wobble, and some could be toppled over depending on just how flat the terrain is where you're traveling. So please use caution. Winds are increasing now. Our moisture content is dropping now that the sun is up. Our skies are clear. Temperatures are in the 40s to the north, 49 in Oklahoma City. We've got 50s down to the south, and look at the winds. Just over the last 45 minutes, these have increased from about 15 miles per hour to now 30 and 35 mile per hour gusts. Temperatures will warm today from the 40s quickly into the low 60s, and that's really what we're stall out. So we'll be below average today due to kind of this north breeze, which is cooling, and the humidity today will be anywhere from 5 to 15%. And what that means for today and tomorrow, it's not just today that we have the fire danger. We've been talking about the massive fire out in the Panhandle. I'll have more of that on that in the next half hour as well. But if a fire were to get started during the peak winds and the lowest humidity, it could spread at about 400 feet per minute, which is mind-blowing, and that's why it's so difficult for firefighters, and they're just throwing everything at these fires, and they're going to do an amazing job as they always do. But give them a hand. Be very cautious. If you're pulling a trailer today, check and make sure your chain isn't dragging. If you're going to be out and about in any dormant vegetation with anything flammable, even the engine on a tractor can start a fire on a day like today. You've got to use caution. Wind gusts coming up this afternoon by about noon to 2 to 3 o'clock. That's when our winds will be the strongest in the Panhandle and out west. Could have some gusts over 60, and winds start to back off a little bit into the afternoon, late afternoon into the evening. They become much weaker, but they pick back up tomorrow. It's all thanks to this powerful storm to our northeast that is still just bringing us rounds and waves of wind and dry air. But as it moves out, heading into your weekend, south winds return, Gulf moisture builds back in, and our next storm does dive in from the northwest, and this will bring us the dynamics that you need to get some strong to severe storms. And it still looks like Monday we'll have to monitor along with Tuesday and into Wednesday. So the latest on the zones, which again, this is going to continue to change and evolve over the next several days, but the latest here on your Thursday morning is the warm front surges in, bringing moisture back in Monday. We may have a few isolated storms. Does not look widespread, but there would be a severe threat. The ingredients are more plentiful on Tuesday, but the timing of the system still a little wacky for Tuesday. We may end up with strong to severe storms central and eastern Oklahoma, and then into Wednesday, as the main wave is swinging out, the dry line blasts through, we will likely see severe weather fire in central Oklahoma that will race to the east. That means western Oklahoma, you really miss out on the moisture out of all 3 of those days, unfortunately, and the drought rages on. I will have the latest drought monitor coming up in the next half hour as well. Lows tonight in the 30s, tomorrow 50s and 60s, and then heading into the day on Saturday, 70s and 80s. We warm it up. South winds return, mid-80s on Sunday, and then here comes the rain and storm chances into next week. Back to you guys.